What are 5 ways to evade active radar homing missiles? Let's talk a bit about it. Hello guys, once again, it's Matt. Thank you all the members and patrons. Make sure to subscribe. And yeah guys, I wanted to do this video for a while now. I waited a little bit after the patch. So let's get going. 5 ways to evade the new FOX-3 missiles. I understand the M54 is a FOX-3 missile, but yeah, you can use it on it as well. But the majority of the tactics are a little bit more aggressive, you know, because they are made to actually make you avoid a 90s FOX-3 missile, okay? The first one is a good old one that everybody loves, multipathing. Multipathing still works, guys. It is harder, but it works. What is multipathing? Well, basically it is when you fly very low to the ground, the radiation, the radio waves that are bouncing back from the ground basically overwhelm the radar of the missile or the aircraft, and it makes that seeker or the radar think that the actual target is flying lower than it actually is. When you are flying low enough, it will make the missile hit the ground, okay? This was actually nerfed in the last patch from 100 meters now to 60, so you need to fly lower, and I mean 60 meters is very low depending on trees and like the hills and stuff, so be careful on using this static, but it does still work. You are literally 100% invulnerable if you fly below 60 meters, okay? I advise you guys to fly in a more open area, flat surface, okay? The second one is for longer ranges. The multipathing was basically for any range, but for longer ranges, the objective would be to make the missile lose its energy, okay? Because you have that option. So instead of just, you know, dropping chaff or anything like that, first try to keep you in an offensive position, you know? You can do that while turning to the left or to the right. So basically what you would do is fire your missile and then turn to the left or to the right, maintaining the soft lock with TWS. This would vary depending on aircraft. It could be a 45 degree, a 40 degree turn, a 90 degree turn if it is a MiG-29 SMT, for example. So it depends on your gimbal of your radar. But the objective is to maintain the soft lock with the TWS while turning, okay? And then you're going to basically be changing directions to make the missile lose energy. This is normally called a crank, okay? The missile has a very limited amount of energy. The more you speed up and the more angle you can open in the crank on the turn, you know, the bigger the angle of intercept of the missile will be, making it lose more energy. So the faster you go and the more angle you have, the missile will start to turn more, making it lose more energy. This combined with changing the direction from time to time of the crank, so it is, I don't know, a 40 degree to the left turn. Okay, now I wait 10 seconds or maybe less, I will turn to the right and do the same, and then to the left and do the same, and to the right, and you will keep doing that while doing an offensive, you know, push, guiding your missile with TWS. This is probably the most important maneuver you need to know in BVR. If you do it correctly, you can even make the missile completely miss you without even getting close to you, while you are still being in an offensive position to fire more missiles and maintain the TWS soft lock. I would suggest just for you to actually have in mind that you need to use this until the missile goes active if you are using a FOX-3. After that, you can use other maneuvers to make sure you don't die, okay? For mid-ranges and other types of situations where you don't know where the missile is exactly, or maybe the missile, you know, is already active, maybe your missile is already active and you are doing the crank, you can always notch. And what is the notch? Well, basically it is the same as the crank, okay? But with more angles and doing some other little things. So the first thing that you would do is meet some of these requirements. So you are doing the crank, for example, so you're going to have your missile going active. A missile went active on you, so you need to be careful, or you just don't know where the missile is, so you're gonna do this just to make sure. So basically you are going to continue the turn that you were doing. So maybe you were doing a 40-degree turn, you know, maybe a 50, maybe 60. The MiG-29 can already do 90, but the objective is to get to the 90-degree turn to the angle perpendicular to the missile that is coming towards you, or to the aircraft that is firing on you, okay? So this will have all the effects that the crank have. So for example, the increase in angle and speed will make the missile just lose more energy, but it will be more effectively employed, basically. Plus, it will make the missile lose you a lot of the times just due to the velocity of your aircraft, you know. It kind of becomes virtually zero because you are flying 90 degrees perpendicular, so the pulse Doppler radar will not be able to actually see you due to the nature of PD radar properties, right? Of course, this is helped by a lot. If you want to use chaff, this is the time. And also you can change directions too with it, making a split S maneuver to change to 90 degrees to the other side. But the important part is to maintain a virtually 0 kilometers per hour speed against the missile or the target, okay? Chaff will become more effective. You will almost become invisible depending on the radar and other things. So it is a very, very effective maneuver, and it's just the evolution of the crank basically in the game, okay? So we went about, you know, some of the, you know, longer range kind of situations, but for shorter ranges, we have to talk about it because it is much harder to avoid these missiles. They will basically not bleed their entire energy from less than 10 kilometers. So there's 2 maneuvers you need to know how to do. One of them is similar to the notch, but even more, you know. I like to go cold even, you know, so you would basically go into the notch position that I talked about, 90 degrees, fire some chaff, fire some flares, just to make sure, you know. And if the missile continues to go towards you, because in the 10-kilometer mark you will see the missile coming, you can even go cold, okay? You can try to run away from the missile, making the missile work a lot harder and making the chaff be on top of the face of the missile. Sometimes not even this will work, okay guys? So it's not 100% it will work, oh my god, every single time. Depending on the situation, depending on where the target is shooting at you, depending on the aspect of the shot, depending on how many chaff you have, how many energy you have have to not lose that much energy turning, because if you stay still, you are gonna get killed by other things besides the FOX-3 missile, okay? So yeah, you know, spam chaff and stuff, try go code, you know, try to notch, try to change directions again, you know, from left to right like we talk about it, but the objective was to just continue the notch, continue the turn, and go code dropping chaff, but just don't stay still, okay? This will, with all these maneuvers together, maybe you will survive, you know, less than 10 kilometer, maybe 5 kilometer shot even. And the last one is a second way to actually have these low range kind of survival situations, right? It would be to basically have a collision course with the ground. So basically you will point the nose to the ground and pretend you're going to crash into the ground, basically, without crashing, right? This will make the missile hit the ground while trying to intercept where you are, you know, where you were going basically in the future position with its calculations, you know. So basically it will try to intercept you so much that it doesn't know that the ground is there. So, you know, it will calculate a point of impact that is below the horizon line, so it will make it crash into the ground. But be careful of, obviously, with hitting the ground. This would be the 2 best tactics from up close, okay? So the most important thing about these missiles is that they are very easy to use, you know. If they are very easy to use and get kills with, it means that it is very easy to get killed by them as well. So the defense part of flying the new meta is the most important part of top tier, and you gotta learn how to do it. So these are 5 ways for you to actually avoid these missiles. Remember, from longer ranges it's much easier, but for up close it's always harder, so be careful out there. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, see you.